Hey folks, welcome back to Ed's Garage at Merton Hyundai. Pretty excited today. We've got Hyundai official Ioniq6 training to do, and just waiting for that to start. Should start in 5 minutes. But basically what this is how we're taught everything about the vehicle. So whether they talk about the range, the capabilities, the comparisons to other manufacturers as well. Now, I can't show you everything that goes on in the training necessarily, but I'm sure there's little snippets that I can share with you. So I'm going to be listening in on my computer here. I got some headphones ready to go, and it's going to be coming up on the screen over here. Whoop, wrong direction. So I will try to angle that a little bit so that you can kind of see parts of it. But again, I won't be able to show you the entire training session. So I'm going to get hooked up, launched in, and we'll see what we can see. All right, so this is just the entry video that we're watching now. The show is about to start in apparently 1 minute. So everybody's just kind of joining in at the moment here, and yeah, it's pretty exciting. Just going through the introductions now. We got Claude Pardo here, who's been doing training for Hyundai for a very long time, and Jean-Francois. So we just learned that there are 726 individual pixels on the vehicle. So including all the lighting and the buttons on the doors and stuff like that. Transparent shark fin. So with the 4 lights on the steering wheel, when the lights are white, that means that the car is on and ready to go. It's EV ready. When you put it into reverse, it actually turns all those lights red. It's pretty cool. And when you're driving in eco mode, all the lights are green, and in sport mode, they're on red as well. And of course, you get your battery status there as well. So how many lights on are representative of what the percentage of battery is. So pretty interesting information for the Ioniq6 in Canada. There won't be a short range version. So it'll only be the long range versions with the 77 kilowatt hour battery. So basically there'll be a preferred long range version, a preferred all-wheel drive long range version, and a preferred ultimate, which will also of course be the long range version. Covering the overall global sales of vehicles, you can see Hyundai is actually first, second, third, fourth, fifth in the market. That's actually pretty big considering GM is very, very close. VW is doing really, really well. Tesla is second behind BYD, which of course is a massive Chinese company. But basically what they're talking about now is they do respect Tesla and its accomplishments. So in Canada and, well, North America, basically because of the mirrors, the drag coefficient is not going to be quite as good as other markets. So it's a 0.22 drag coefficient, which is actually the same as the Tesla Model 3. It's right exactly the same. So the original Ioniq was 0.23. The Tesla Model 3 is 0.22, and this vehicle now is also 0.22. In other markets without those mirrors, 0.21. And as you can see, the drag coefficient of other vehicles, the Mach-E, 0.30, which is really high. Ioniq 5 is not great either, but it's based on the boxy shape. So yeah, the Model 3 and the Ioniq6, basically exactly the same. What they're talking about right now is the fact that it has a 5-link rear suspension, which is pretty awesome. The ride quality is going to be phenomenal in this vehicle. But also the electric motor is actually, the entire thing is rotated 90 degrees to keep it nice and flat to give you a lot of trunk space. So the engine, or the motor rather, is super, super low right in between the rear wheels. It doesn't sit on top of the axle, it sits kind of in the middle. Really, really well designed for a nice low center of gravity. So now they're talking about the fact that the front motor actually becomes completely disconnected under normal driving conditions and only becomes connected when it needs the extra traction. It's gonna disconnect the wheels from the motor itself, not just not use the motor, but completely decouple it so that there's no extra drag. Gives it a little bit better range, of course. However, in sport mode, everything is connected and it becomes all-wheel drive and stays all-wheel drive. So we're talking about safety now. So International Institute of Highway Safety hasn't tested the vehicle or hasn't released the test results yet. However, NCAP in Europe has been completed and it is a 5-star. It's basically ranking as high as the highest vehicles. So good safety on this vehicle as well. So the safest vehicle that NCAP has ever tested is the Tesla Model Y, and the the new Ioniq6 has basically matched the results of the Model Y on the NCAP Euro testing, which is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, I missed the bit of the video that showed it, but the rise of Hyundai through the years from 2013 to today, compared to Toyota, basically we went from below industry average to basically leading the industry by J.D. Power and Associates overall dependability study, which is pretty amazing in basically 9 years. So at this point, we're talking about aerodynamic efficiency, talking about the active air curtains on the sides of the vehicle in the front corners. Allows the air to basically go through the front, around over the wheels to prevent too much turbulence by the wheels, which is kind of cool. And then you got the active air shutters in the front that basically just open up whenever it needs to cool, but normally they're closed down so that the air really gets kind of funneled around the outsides of the vehicles. It's pretty neat the way they did that. A lot of thought went into the aerodynamic efficiency of the vehicle. There's even little deflectors right by the bumper here and on the actual light itself. And that actually reduces drag by allowing the air to basically fly off of those deflectors. They've really given this a lot of thought. So talking about cold weather performance, the Tesla Model 3 and the Ioniq6 and the Ioniq5 and other vehicles from Hyundai do have the heat pump, which is a massive improvement in heating the cabin. Some things to consider: the Chevy Bolt and the Tesla Model, the Mustang Mach-E don't have a heat pump, which is just crazy. I mean, a heat pump is 300% more efficient than your typical resistive heater. So we're learning of comparisons between the Ioniq6 now and the Tesla Model 3. The Ioniq6 has a 17 centimeter longer wheelbase, so a little bit better road manners, a little bit smoother on the road, that sort of thing. And of course, better storage or better legroom in the back, for instance. So 6 centimeters of better space in the back seat. So for legroom, definitely better in the Ioniq6. And on this image, basically, they're showing the difference sitting in the back seat between the Ioniq6 and the Model 3. And of course, the Ioniq6, quite a bit more space. So I think that was a given, though. The Tesla Model 3's back seat is tight. So just talking about the sunroof now, and this is kind of cool. So it's a standard size sunroof. It's not very big, but it doesn't have a manual shade. It has a power shade, which is kind of cool. So no panel roof on the Ioniq6, unfortunately, but at least you can open it. So personally, I'm good either way. I like the fact that it can open up. A little unfortunate that it's not the big panoramic roof, though, but yeah. So comparatively speaking to the Tesla Model 3, which is kind of its main competitor, we've got more passenger room, more rear seat comfort, thigh support, rear armrest location for heated seat controls, instrument panel and available head-up display, etc. CarPlay, Android Auto, easy tilt telescopic steering wheel, surround view, blind view monitor, and more. There's actually a lot of features more. And of course, the price of the vehicle is expected to be lower as well. So coming to the end of the training here, just found out that unfortunately there will be no glove box drawer on the North American models either, unfortunately. They didn't actually come out and say it specifically, but it's probably not going to be included based on some of the video that I saw here that unfortunately I can't share, but yeah.
All right. Well, apparently I forgot to end that video when I was taping there. So now I'm at home, but that's okay. So just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. That's basically all I have for you on the Ioniq6 training there. I know it was kind of boring. There really wasn't a whole lot of new information that I hadn't already learned, but Hopefully you learned something, and if you did, fantastic. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And if you have any questions about the Ioniq6 that I might be able to answer, or the Ioniq 5, or any other Hyundai for that matter, please don't forget to comment below. Again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to have a very Merry Christmas, and take care.